Or down just a little bit. Whew, hope everyone's having a good Sunday. In all honesty, I haven't really had time to throw anything new together because of SGDQ basically taking up the last 2 weeks or so of my life. Which was a great time. I have no regrets. For those of you that watched it, I hope you enjoyed watching it. I don't normally like to do back-to-back beat-em-ups. On my previous episode, I played Captain America and the Avengers to great success. But today it just felt right to just go hit more things. So we're going to play King of Dragons. I actually like this game a lot. This is one of my favorite Capcom brawlers. Whether or not it's one of the best is subjective. I know it's really popular, and I think that's awesome. It does have a reasonable amount going for it across, you know, a number of different layers, which we'll get into that. Just making sure the layout looks good. Okay. Should still be a VOD for it. It was okay. Captain America and the Avengers is just a weird game. But I played it a lot. Anyway, so King of Dragons. In a lot of ways, this game kind of feels like, for those that know what came later, a proof of concept game that also stands really well on its own. And I'll explain why here in a bit. So, King of Dragons is a 1991 beat-em-up game developed and published by Capcom for arcades. That was actually a really busy year for them, and across beat-em-ups and in general. Street Fighter II also came out in arcades that year, and that game was something of a breakthrough for the arcade community. On the wavelength of beat-em-ups, Captain Commando also came out that year from Capcom. Other devs had stuff too, Simpsons, Aliens, things like that. King of Dragons follows players as they control characters with the Kingdom of Malice, spelled M-A-L-U-S, to defeat monsters led by the dragon Gildas. It features a level advancement system allowing character attributes to be upgraded as players progress through the game. The game's music was composed by Yoko Shimomura, herself a very famous composer, also went on to compose Kingdom Hearts, composed The Punisher, another one of my favorites, Super Mario RPG, aforementioned Street Fighter II, along with Asao Abe, Parasite Eve. Yeah, extensive list for that person. King of Dragons was later ported to the SNES in 1994. An emulated version of the game has been released in multiple Capcom compilations. One of which is the Capcom Beat 'em Up collection, which I do have, but I'm running it as a MAME today just for sake of convenience. Personally, I actually think the SNES port is very good. Maybe the best SNES port of a Capcom Beat 'em Up, and there are quite a few. It's very faithful. It gets a lot of things right. The gameplay is mostly ported over well. It actually adds a few things for a couple of the characters, particularly in terms of controls. It's a lot of fun. I actually think it's something of a hidden gem for the console for those that haven't played it. By the way, we're listening to the Dungeons & Dragons Tower of Doom soundtrack, so that'll allude to what I'm talking about when I mean proof of concept. So the game has 16 levels, which is a lot on paper, but a lot of levels are really short. As mentioned before, it features a role-playing video game-like level advancement system. Points are scored for killing monsters or picking up gold count towards experience, and the character gains levels at regular intervals. With each level, the character's health bar increases. Other attributes such as range improve, and the character also becomes invulnerable for a few seconds. Along the way, different weapon and armor upgrades for each character may also be picked up. The game features a simple control system that consists of a single attack and a jump button. By pressing both buttons, the character unleashes a magical attack that strikes all enemies on screen, strength varying according to the character used, at the expense of losing energy. It works like a Super Joy, but it's arguably even better than that because it has full screen coverage. The fighter, cleric, and dwarf can also use their shield to block certain attacks by tilting the joystick back right before the impact. So, this is actually a reason why I think the SNES version has improvements. The SNES version has a dedicated block button, whereas knowing how to block utilizing the lever with these three characters on arcade is actually a skill. It's not easy. Like, I actually really enjoy playing the cleric, for example, but don't play him on the arcade version just because of how stilted it feels to defend yourself, and you need to be able to do that because anything that touches you in this game hurts. For the wizard and the elf, it doesn't really matter. They're gonna do what they do always. This is also one of the many Capcom games to feature the Yoshichi power-up item, which is a boost power-up icon resembling a shuriken. I I actually don't know where this is in the game, to be perfectly honest. I'm only just now learning that it's actually in the game. There are 3 such power-ups hidden throughout the game, each giving the player an extra continue. We won't be worrying about that, at least. I guess it only exists in the SNES version, because you can continue endlessly on arcade. The 5 playable heroes each have their own traits and fighting skills in the game. The fighter is good with melee attacks and defense, but lacks magic. The dwarf is able to dodge and block attacks, and is the most agile character that has decent melee attacks, albeit the shortest range, and also a little magic ability. Of note, the dwarf also has poison resistance, and is the only character that has any kind of resistance to certain damage. The elf has good agility and great range with archery, but is not physically strong. The cleric has great defense and decent magic, including the ability to heal his partners, and also melee attacks, but has bad agility. He wears plate armor, for crying out loud, so it makes sense. The wizard has poor defense, but good magic and quick melee attacks. To give a breakdown of how I feel about the tier list personally, it's definitely wizard at the top, dwarf at the bottom. The dwarf doesn't really have anything to offer unless you're just trying to play on the hardest possible settings. It's meh. I've actually never played the dwarf, and I've purposely tried to avoid it. I don't think limited characters like that are all that fun most of the time. And in the arcade version, the cleric and fighter are already kind of limited, and the dwarf is just doing what they do, but worse. It's also arguable that the elf might be worse than the other 2 melee characters, because the elf has the worst upgrades, but is probably the best character at exactly the start of the game, but not past that. Very good walk speed, definitely the fastest character in the game, and that pairs very well with their range. They have a bow and arrow that they use for their attacks. So they're an excellent zoning character, but outside of that, like, late in the game, they struggle to do damage, so they're not a speedrun character, that's for sure. Anyway, on to ports. Port to the SNES was published in 1994, as previously mentioned. It reduces the number of simultaneous players down to 2, and the characters are smaller. It's also possible to assign the magic attack and shield defense to different buttons. Of note, this is something I always found was strange about Capcom beat-em-ups. The number of playable characters you can have, in the arcade at least, is always less than the number of playable characters that are available. Compare it to like TMNT or Simpsons, where you have 4 characters and there's a dedicated slot for all of them. To Capcom's examples, Final Fight has 3 characters, but only 2 players can play at once. Alien vs. Predator has 4 characters, but only 3 can play at once. King of Dragons has 5 characters and only 3 can play at once. Etc., etc. There might be an exception to this. I guess Punisher, because you only have 2 characters, but even they're both dedicated slots. Punisher on the left, Fury on the right. The arcade version is also part of the Capcom Classics Collection. Sorry, that's a lot of C's. Capcom Classics Collection Volume 2, released for the PS2 and Xbox in November 2006, as well as Capcom Classics Collection Reloaded for the PSP. It's also part of 2 compilations for the PS4, Xbox One, Switch, and Windows, those being the Capcom Beat 'em Up Bundle, which I have, and Capcom Arcade Second Stadium, which I actually do have, but only have the free games that are available for it. I haven't picked anything up for it yet. Anyway, reception. In Japan, Game Machine listed the King of Dragons on their October 1st, 1991 issue as being the most popular arcade game for the previous 2 weeks. Not bad. That's actually pretty considerable given that it was in 1991, you know, the year of Street Fighter II. The Japanese publication Mycom Basic Magazine ranked the game 25th in popularity in its November 1991 issue. That sounds a bit more accurate. GameZone's David Wilson thought the fantasy world setting of each character was neat, while Zero's Doris Stokes called it a, quote, good, nicely addictive, end quote, beat-em-up game. And in 2023, Time Extension listed it as one of the best beat-em-ups of all time. No, sorry, actually, even better. In 2023, Time Extension listed it as one of the beat-em-ups of all time. So Wikipedia got memed, that's funny. Gamist gave King of Dragons multiple awards at the 5th Annual Gamist Awards, placing 2nd in Best Action, 9th in Best Production, 8th in Best Graphics, 19th in Annual Hit Game. And Mycom Basic Magazine also gave several awards. The 1991 Video Game Grand Prize, placing 5th overall in Overall Grand Prize, 6th in Player Division, 3rd in Best Action, and 9th in Game Center Department. And the SNES version, according to Famitsu, Famitsu is a very old Japanese publication, and I think a lot of its old retro reviews hold up really well. They were pretty strict on a lot of games, but not overtly so. So according to Famitsu, King of Dragons sold 8,979 copies in its first week on the market, and another 11,000 during its lifetime in Japan. The game received a 21.6 out of 30 score in a reader's poll conducted by Super Famicom Magazine. The SNES version garnered mixed reception from critics. I think it's better than mixed, personally, but to each their own. Anyway, got a little bit of viewing material. So here we have the instruction manual. As mentioned before, 3-player, 3-joystick. I think it may have only been available in a conversion kit. I don't know if it had a dedicated cabinet or not. Return material authorizations. Return to ROMstar, only in the following situations. I'll move past that. So yeah, it's got installs here, but installs generally are only set up for the purpose of conversion kits. For those unaware, conversion kits are where you convert a cabinet from one game to another. A dedicated cabinet is a game that has its own cab that's dedicated specifically to that game. Not every game had those. ROMstar invites you to use our phone or fax number. Hopefully these aren't on here. Oh, there they are. I do not condone the use of these, and apparently the FBI also doesn't either, so you've been warned. Does your new game package include all listed parts? I love the fact that new game is bolded everywhere, like including under recommended tools and supplies. That's some good meaning. Got your dip switch tables. Ooh, optimize your profits. Classic corporate greed. Your final product would be a new game. This is hilarious. I love this. Get our hands dirty. Better, better. Have to admit, I've never worked on an arcade machine, much as I've played them. What test? This manual is tremendous. As you can tell, I did not look this over before I went live. I'm as new to this and giving raw reactions as much as you all are. Oh, I have done this though. I have hooked boards up to old monitors before and CRTs. Some boards are a real pain when it comes to alignment. Fair warning if you ever decide to get into arcade hardware. Don't forget, this is gonna be a new game. I love this so much. That's about it. Good luck. Got your coin harnesses here. You do have to have a what's called a kick harness to have more than 2 players available. And since you need 3, well, time to get a kick harness. Another manual here. I believe, I can't remember if this is the US version or if it's, oh, it's not the SNES version. It's a little bit earlier. Got your wiring. I actually have a wiring description just like this for X-Men. I actually own a board for X-Men. It's only set to a 2-player ROM set though. Another quick shot of a manual. This is from archive.org, which is only 1 page, but it shows all the part indicators. We're gonna look at some flyers here. This is the poster I'm gonna have when we get to the main game. I did not mean to do that. Pretty sweet artwork here. You've got all 5 playable characters, left to right: wizard, dwarf, fighter, cleric, elf. Fighting Gildas, who is the final boss. He's just a big red dragon. Nothing too special, but he looks cool. This I found from eBay. This, I believe, is the US arcade flyer. Here we have another Japanese flyer. I like the screenshots here. They did a good job separating these. This I pulled up for the console box art. Here we have the SNES version. That's pretty wigged out. Let me see if I can do a little bit better there. Okay, it's a little bit smaller, but I think the artwork's quite good. It only shows 3 characters, which is ironic because you only have 2 players. There's a larger one. And this is the Super Famicom box art, which is the same as, sorry, the Japanese flyer. Ta-da! Pretty neat. And then this was just a launch box that I found that had the SNES flyer here, which is also pretty great. I love 90s game ads sometimes. Slay the dragon or you're fired. We'll keep that one. Anyway, that's all I've got to show as far as the BTS and production. Let's go ahead and switch over to gameplay here. Gonna bump up the volume on this. Not on the music, on the game. So yeah, typical D&D quest. Beat the dragon, restore peace to the kingdom, etc., etc. Quick note, this version I'm going to be playing first is actually a beta release for the game. And the way you know it's a beta release is for the date. So Capcom in this time period assigns 6-digit numbers to their ROM set releases. 6-digit numbers are based on the date of release. So the one I'm going to be playing here is 910711, which is 1991 7/11, so July 11th. So that would have been 34 years ago last week. The actual ROM set, which I'm going to load up now, came a little bit later, and it's actually a fair bit harder for the official arcade release. It was only released about a month later. It was 8/05/91, so about 3 weeks. What was that? So the reason I'm doing the easier version first is just a confidence build. I haven't played this in probably a couple months, and I remember I did it as a bonus run for Retrothon, and that was a lot of fun. It was early morning, just threw on the game. We needed some time filled and managed to clear. After this, I'll give a spin on the official arcade release and see what happens. So my first clear is with the elf. Elf's okay, but the halfway point of the game, he gets kind of boring. Wizard's the OG, though. This dude is quite good, as I mentioned before. So I will warn, the speedrun of this game is kind of nauseating. You can only get actual fast boss kills with good RNG, because you need orbs to spawn, so that's kind of for sickos. I'm not really here to play that. I'm gonna go grab this gold, though. So that's one orb. One orb's not good enough. In fact, we can't even take that one to the boss. I'm gonna let some enemies spawn. That's unfortunate. I'll be able to heal it back, but still, that's also unfortunate. Nice job protecting that. These thieves are kind of annoying too. They just steal your stuff after it drops. Oh hey, this might give me a quick kill. Let's see. Yeah, that's what happens when you get good RNG. You spike the orb and the orc dies. It's pretty dumb. So imagine speedrunning it. If that doesn't happen, you have to reset. Fun times. Anyway, glad I got to show that off. Appreciate the game letting me showcase what can happen in this game with a little bit of luck. We did that to happen. A couple more enemies. First few stages are pretty simple. We just have to fight these orcs. These guys aren't that tough. They can block our attacks, but Wizard's offense is so oppressive that it really doesn't matter that much. Floaty jump. A Minotaur is a little bit more annoying than the orc, especially because there's no quick kill for him. Oh, I didn't think that was in range. So what I try to do here is have him chase me. He can only swing twice at a time. What I have him do is jump up and down, do this. Sometimes he chases me, sometimes he doesn't. Really can't do much more than this, though. I could use my Super Joy for more damage, but that's going to cost me health. And after I took that, what was that, like 9 damage off that hit, I'm kind of not really interested. Now that the floor's broken, he also gains a charge attack. That was lucky. That was also lucky. When you level up in this game, it's silly. You have iframes the entire duration to level up, and that can lead to some really dumb stuff happening. Like borderline cheating. I'll do it now. Didn't kill, but closer. Okay. You're worthy of ponderment. Love that. Got her health back. Take the gold, like a good adventurer would. You notice at the end of every level, we get a new item. The wizard can't raise his defense, technically, but that's what the ring is supposed to represent. I think it just boosts magical ability, but anyway, in any case, the wizard's defense is just bad. But that's the point of the character. He's a glass cannon. Glass cannons tend to be top tier most of the time. Okay, so this is getting a little bit crowded. Don't love this. Go away, please. Woohoo! Yeah. Forgot the level up also has a hitbox. Let's strike this thing. Okay. Alright, so now we have the Wyvern. I do try to play this carefully, but I've been known to not. It's also a dope song. I love this music. Don't fly backwards. When he goes off screen, he's gonna either dive or he's gonna land and he's gonna try and like actually shoot me, which you can out damage him here as long as your dodging is decent. That's by far his best attack. He has one where he can just shoot fire at the ground like that, which is incredibly telegraphed, but the one where he just insta spits is really dangerous. The reason I'm always hitting and moving. Like, as soon as I'm hitting, I'm holding up or down just to get the hell out of the way. And our range isn't that good yet, so this fight's actually a contest. You have the advantage, just gotta play a little bit safe. Okay, so he's gonna fly away. He's gonna dive right about now. He can dive backwards and tackle me, but I usually play as if he's not going to. Because he usually doesn't, but I try to prepare for the possibility of him actually doing it. Whoo! Yeah, no thank you. That was rude. Go away. Kind of have to play the patience game a little bit. I don't know too many ways to speedrun this. Magic's probably part of it. Even though our magic's not great yet, it's good enough. No thanks. You jerk. Yeah, that was mean. I'm not surprised, though. Tried to checkmate me there. I did already get an extra life, which is useful, but I'd rather not lose it here. Yeah, I gotta keep my distance here. Okay, so he's gonna dive right about now. Should be able to kill him in this cycle or the next. There we go. That was a lot of damage. And we leveled up, which is good beats. Oh, I didn't get the last goal. That was mean. Oh well. To the cave! Shoutouts to foreground objects. Nobody likes foreground objects. Oh yeah, your blast can definitely block the crossbow bolts, but sometimes you're not fast enough. We got the treasure chests that come alive, chase us, do horrible things. I'm gonna bounce this over here. No, I didn't want that to happen. Okay. Found another door, cool. The ooze is pretty easy to deal with for the wizard, especially once you have this fireball type projectile. That was very unfortunate. There we go. Okay. Thought I had iframes the rest of the time. Oh well. Shouldn't be that big of a deal. The boss fight's not that bad. I do want this thief to go away, though. On we go. Some points. Health? Not yet. Okay, so the Hydra's got some things. Can't shoot it yet. So my goal is to try to only focus on one head at a time. All of the attacks are dangerous. The dive does a ton of damage. All of their projectiles do a ton of damage. Very lucky level up there. Okay. But the upside is that the wizard does a ton of damage by this point. More so than they can deal with. Dive is kind of tricky to deal with if they're off screen, because you don't actually see it happening. There we go. And because it's a Hydra, you gotta take out all three heads, because that's how it works. Waboom. They do have armor when they're getting ready to do their spit, but they still take damage. Thunk. Got to get paid. The dragon's awake. Everybody's in trouble. Let's go. This is a great song. I think this game's soundtrack overall is quite good. Unfortunately, we also get introduced to skeletons now, and skeletons are annoying. Not the hardest enemies by any stretch, but they have annoying things. Mostly good defense. Take the thing. So I'm debating about taking the food because if I don't, then a thief will start showing up, and that's just annoying. Oh, cool. That happened after I got the food. So of note, frog transformation is actually bad because any enemy that turns into a frog doesn't grant you points when you kill them, and that hurts your XP gain. Generally recommend not using it, but whatever. The defense. I hear ya. Stay down there for a bit while I take care of your boys. Hey, we got the merman now. Wow. So rude. So these guys, you just shoot them. I'll show here. I can't quite show that off when there were two of them. Whoa, hello, really? Okay, so you shoot them, let them jump, walk under, do it again. Pretty simple fight, even if there's two of them. Unfortunate about the damage, but hopefully we'll be able to heal it. Anyway, we're out of here. Nice dragon ship. Giant in the shrine. This stage is interesting. You have harpies now that are actually really annoying enemies, but you never see them after this, which I'm actually thankful for. Kind of just want some health. Harpies aren't hard to deal with in the vacuum, but they're just annoying. Winged enemies tend to be obnoxious in beat-em-ups. Anything that can fly makes you have to jump, just kind of tends to ruin your day. Could be. We leveling up, baby. As you can see, our shot gets better every time we get a new staff. Yeah, it was kind of flanked there. It's fine. I'm not happy about it, but it's fine. Give me that. Where are you going? So this stage, we've got a refight. The Minotaur's back, and he's actually a little bit more difficult because we don't have as much space with which to move around. And a Minotaur in a a labyrinth type setting is that's his environment, so we just gotta deal with it. Should be a healing item here. There we go. All right, back to full. Here's our refight. Different colored palette too, but it's essentially the same fight. The only difference now is he can charge at the start of the fight, which is actually really annoying because he's completely invincible when he's charging. Jerk. Same pattern though, just move up and down. Where are you going? And our shot's a lot stronger now. Yeah, I can't fight that. Or that. Cool. Sometimes he just does this and you just can't hit him. Arguably one of the worst fights in the speed run, because anybody who can just get iframes on a dime is pretty rude. Ooh, thank you for the damage. Sometimes he just gives up. That was really, really good DPS right there. The blocks. There we go. An interesting bit of level scaling here. We have an ascending staircase. Not my favorite thing to have in a game like this, but it doesn't really wear out its welcome because the stage is pretty short. Got a level up, very good. Oh no. Out of here. Down, 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 down. Okay. Where are you going? Okay. Big thing to watch out for there is they do have a hitbox when they're falling, so you gotta be mindful of that. And when they're jumping. Basically, if skeletons are airborne, they're still a threat. Just keep your distance. Wizard's walk speed sucks, but you can manage. The upside of the bad walk speed is that usually when you touch something, they die, and that's pretty great to have. Alright, so I'm gonna carry this over here. We're gonna fight some orcs first. They're not a threat. The skeletons that show up, however, I'm gonna deal with them. That was unfortunate. I want to take that hit. But I got what I wanted out of that, so that's cool at least. Whoa, hello. Go away. Really? That was that active? Okay. That's gameplay for you. And so the Cyclops has... I don't know. I don't think this fight's all that hard. The big thing to watch out for is his punch. Dash punch is telegraphed. His jab, however, is really awful to deal with. Get me out of here, please. When he goes up and throws the rock, that's pretty much a free hit. It's like the Minotaur jumping around. So you can get him to follow you like that, and you can get a free hit. You just have to be really careful about that, because as soon as he lands, he either throws or he leaves. Do not want to take that hit. Told you the jab is a problem. We can outrange him, but sometimes he just crawls towards the corner, and you're in trouble, and you kind of just have to adapt on the fly. Like right now, he's a little closer than I want him to be. Other side. You're a little close. I don't like this. If he's close enough to jab me, I'm not a fan. And his jab has a lot of range. That was useful. Honestly, up the hill and the staircase are both the same. I just didn't even consider it for stage 3. To the woods. This is maybe the most Tolkien thing in the game. And we'll find out why here soon. I don't really care about the ooze. I'll save the orb. The group of enemies after this introduces a new enemy that's arguably the hardest in the game. I think it's the next one. Actually, no, it's the one after that. I'll just go ahead and do this. Orbs do fade after a time, so they're very much use it or lose it. Unfortunate. I will say, if you're comparing the staircase to the hill, staircase has foreground objects, and nobody likes those. That's the other problem. Oh, the blocks. Let's go. So here we have the lizard men. I would argue these are the hardest the types of enemies in the game. We won't see any more of this stage, but we will see them eventually. Yeah, so the spider is kind of a fearsome boss fight. A lot of people really don't like it. I don't think it's all that bad, but I do recommend jumping a lot. Because if you're jumping, the spider can't grab you. Right now he's just spitting acid, but that's the grab animation there. When you get down to half life, he spawns a sibling. And you have to fight both of them, but they have the same health bar. So once that's done, it just takes them all out. Yeah, I agree. It's presented very well. Here's my favorite dialogue of the game. The tree talks to us. Oh, thanks, buddy. So good. Better take this with you. Alright, old man, give me the thing. New staff. We're doing wizard things. Alright, so stage 8's the halfway point. This is where we have to start fighting lizard men, like, en masse, and they're pretty obnoxious. Even when they're getting hit and not blocking, they can still take several hits. Like, they're just tanks with really, really good offense. The spear guys are a bit more aggressive and have much worse defense, but they make excellent support. Put the shield guys in the front. That's what I always say. Good thing is, our staff now has piercing, which means they can hit one enemy and enemies behind it. Take this with me. Not too worried about the archers. If you take out everything in front of you, you don't have any arrows to worry about. I will ever use the star in the next section, though. Like right now. They survived that? Cool, thanks, game. Good thing our weapon's busted. It's wild to think that, like, this is the start of when the wizard is ridiculous, and it only gets better. No. I know, I'm supposed to go. Leave me alone. I'm dealing with angry townspeople. Okay. So I'll leave that for now. Dragon Rider, I used to think was a really, really hard fight, but I actually had to give Bagrito credit for this one. He no-missed this game with the elf. And there's actually a really good strat that I'm utilizing here. Just jump at it. Be aggressive. You have no reason not to. You have to retreat with jumps sometimes, but as long as you're being aggressive and not waiting out his hits, which are just better than yours, you can out-damage him no problem. I'll take that, thank you. There is an element of risk to it, but it's worth learning. Okay, so stage 9 is the start of what is, in my opinion, the hardest quadrant of the game. Stages 9 through 12 is kind of no joke. Everything after stage 12 is actually a lot easier, in my opinion. Oh, 2 orbs. It's my birthday. Not actually my birthday. Okay, so frogs. This does a lot of damage. So Dragon Rider, as you can see, is a more common enemy now. That's unfortunate. Just took a ton of damage from that, so we'll break that. Come here. Yeah, the Dragon Rider with enemies flanking him is quite a bit harder than just a solo fight. And they give it to you right away. Take this. Still wonder how fire can hurt some lizards, but I'm not gonna question. Also, the city's on fire. Tons of panic. Everything's bad. Yay, piercing. Oh my god, I did not went up a little bit too early. Okay. We got another Dragon Rider. I might use magic here. Probably should have used it before picking that up. That's a full health item. Cool. Getting rid of him made that worth it, because that's damage I would have probably taken from brawling with him if I didn't use it. Sit down. The spear guys aren't as much of a concern with the wizard because they just run into whatever you're shooting at them, and they trip over it and then they just die. It's pretty great. I think there's one more item. Nope. Take you out. Mash, mash, mash. That was dangerous. I probably shouldn't have done that. I just didn't get punished for it. Okay, so I'm gonna talk a little bit about the boss this stage. This is probably the second hardest boss in the game, and the only reason it's not hardest is because the hardest fight is fighting 2 of them. We're gonna have to fight the Black Knight here. He's really difficult. He's very fast. You can't outspeed him on anything. Usually if I see him teleported, I just use magic, and I anticipate taking a death. I have no misses with the wizard, but I usually don't anticipate being able to survive just because it's really, really hard. So what I tend to do is keep at range, which he can close gaps very quickly, as I mentioned. I'm gonna hope for that doesn't have, yeah, exactly what I meant. His dash is like a teleport. It's so fast. We also have these dragons popping in from the side. These guys aren't that big of a concern. Usually staying in a corner is like the safest thing you can do, I think. Because he doesn't have as much traction coming into the corner. He kind of just tends to bounce off the walls. Probably the best advice I can give. Yeah, that's unfortunate. I should have magicked that. Ooh, timely level up. I probably shouldn't have been there. I didn't hit him. He was in hit stun. Yeah, you can hit him after that too, but I was a little slow. Come here. Yeah, okay. Good and safe enough. We take those. I love how he just slams against the wall too. Hey guy, how you doing? Princess Mari? Went to school with a girl named Mari. Sure. I'll jump for that. To the underpass. I actually like this stage, even though the ceiling is very condensed. Oh yeah, we got blue flames now. We're all set. Blue flames are silly. Leave that alone. Oh, and for those wrestling fans out there, here we have the Yeti. Yeti's pretty easy to take down as long as you are playing as the wizard. They're very slow and they do a lot of damage, but fire causes pushback and they can't really deal with that. Go away. Ah, that's unfortunate. Thankfully I got iframes. Yeah, that didn't help enough. Ooh, the behind the back hit. Like Donatello and TMNT over here. We'll move on. Okay. So here's our boss. The Wraith is pretty unique. What I try to do is get inside the circle and shoot. I'd already went the wrong way. The key is to always make sure you're aiming for the sights, just so you can block them. And they'll always pierce and be able to hit the boss itself. Once the scythe is airborne, focus on it and you'll be fine. You can still get free damage that way. This is fine, this is fine, this is fine. Shield upgrades, I think you take less damage. The point of defensive upgrades is to do up your damage resistance. Same goes for the others. Okay, so for the last HP, they turn red and get faster, but they still die just as quickly. Because Wizard's damage is really dumb, as we've explained. My bracelet, thank you. Alright, stage 11's fairly difficult. The boss fight's not too bad, it's just the segments of enemies are something. They can do a lot of stupid things, and I'd prefer them to not to. Die, please. This part in particular is pretty strange, just because depth perception is critical. I generally recommend just staying on the top and you'll be fine. That way you don't have to worry about anything on the bottom. Plus top pixel like means nothing can come from one direction. But you're also technically also unsafe on that pixel, so it's a balancing act. It does. But the wizard's damage output is so much better than the elves that he's just a better character overall. Like, I think the wizard by this point in the game does more damage with one shot than the elf does in like 2.5. Like, he just melts through enemies. It's not even fair. Okay, that was fair. No. We'll keep that. I don't know if I can keep it to the boss, but I'm gonna try. Oh, okay. Guess not. We're fine. Thankfully the boss has some pretty easy patterns. I'm not too worried about him. He does look like Goldar from Power Rangers though, which is why I call him Goldar. So the big things to watch out for, his dive is annoying, but it's easily telegraphed. The charge is invincible, just like the Minotaur. The only sword attack to watch out for is the one where he whips, which is Ivy from Soul Calibur, essentially. But it's on a 8-foot tall dragon. Whee! Yeah, just dodge and whiff punish. Not super difficult. That was unfortunate. I didn't think I was that close. Do something. Thank you. Do something. Do anything? Anything? Jerk. Alright, fine. Roasted. Sit down, please. The great Dragonian who gets struck by lightning. Not from the wizard, although that's a cool exit. Flames out in blue. It's Princess Mari, who looks nothing at all like Princess Zelda from the animated series. Which means she looks exactly like Princess Zelda from the animated series. On to the castle to fight more monsters. Stage 12 is the hardest stage in the game. Thankfully after this, it's pretty much all gravy. That was unfortunate. Use my iframes. Okay. Worth it. This is gonna be tough. We got crowbar assisting good melee characters. Sorry, crossbow. I don't know why I said crowbar. Come here, you. Okay. Movement, not so great. We're probably taking a death, but I do have 4 lives total, so not the worst. No missed pace is just a hard thing to want to give up. But unfortunately, the boss may have a say in that. So back to what I mentioned about the knight being the second hardest boss fight. Now we're fighting 2 of them. So by default, it's the hardest boss fight. I did not want that. I was trying to lightning. You can't get double hits with lightning. The big thing is, what? I had the health for that. What's going on here? Okay, dropped the input, didn't get hit, so I didn't get punished, but I still wanted that. Hitting them like that while they're airborne is also good. Try to move as much as I can to avoid their sword slash. The sword slash is committed to basically a part of the Y-axis. Don't touch me. Cool thing is when they die, they do drop health. So if I kill one pretty handily, I'll be able to heal before having to take on the other one. Can't hit them. Okay, so there's that. Give me this healing. Whew, that still hit. Let's go. Did it deathless. I'm gonna be honest, I don't think I made that look easy, but I did do well, but that fight still sucks. But we get a great reward. We're now up to level 7 staff, which I think is our lightning staff. Nope, green flame. Lightning is the last one. So these gremlins are pretty awful. I'd rather just get rid of them. I think there's a safe spot, but I prefer to just stand here and just cast spells over and over again. Okay, he took something. Get out of here, you goons. Dash. Yeah, sad thing is you gotta use magic to break those things off if they grab you. Okay. So we have a sub-boss here. This is actually a really cool wizard. Just a cool sprite. He has cool attacks. He has an orb. He gets to shoot stuff at you. But he's pretty easy, especially if you're the actual wizard. What you do is you just go directly in his Y-axis, shoot him before the orbs can converge and hit you, and you're all set. Not hard at all. And now for the actual stage 13 boss, I think he's the Dark Wizard. He does have his own unique theme, but he's also really easy. I actually think this fight is kind of a joke, if I'm being honest. He has attacks that, like, in theory are strong, but you just don't really have to give a shit about them. Like, the tracking orb is annoying, but it's also not hard at all to avoid. Wow, never seen go vertical before. I'll eat crow on that one. This should have healing, though. Nope, that one's going to. So I'm not super worried. I didn't take much damage, so it's fine. It only does 4. I'll dodge. It tracks up to a certain point. I think once the ball hits the ground, it's committed. So you can, like, dodge and just come back and hit him. Okay, the orbs do make things a bit harder, but he's so low on health, I should be able to just finish him off with whatever. There we go. Yeah, that was a new one. I'd never seen a straight vertical orb column before. That was something. But yeah, easy fight. Got my necklace. To a cave in the woods. Very appropriately named. Back to the merman. Fighting 3 at once is annoying, but thankfully we have the tools to deal with it. We also have ridiculous damage output at this point, but they also do have increased health from before. Go away. I like how they try to improve on sending 3 by sending 2. Would you do that in the opposite order? Not really great difficulty scaling. Minor design flaw, the same. Hit this one. Alright, now we got lightning staff. Game is pretty much over from here. This weapon is completely unreal. Best range we've had all day, which is saying something. Intensely good damage. Go away. We pretty much don't have anything to worry about anymore. I really wanted to save that, but this is fine. So our boss is a Wyvern refight, who does have some bells and whistles this time. Particularly the fact that you have to fight him with additional enemies. But those enemies aren't hard to deal with when you have a really strong weapon that also pierces. Really? That missed? Okay. Whatever you say, game. Pew! What's up, Jocelyn? Mary Jankmas. This game does not qualify as jank. But I'm playing it anyway. Get out of here, please. Really? Oh, I wanted the gold. Oh, well. You're gonna dive. I'm gonna dodge. There we go. Ba-ba-da-da. They really just don't know what they were on with this character. Now I can live in peace. See, we did a good thing today. Okay, last two stages. I actually think the Labyrinth is a really cool looking stage. Dark and dank and purple. Alright, that's our last upgrade. It's just a defense upgrade. The one downside of this weapon is it's actually the worst at hitting slime, so you have to wait for it to jump now. Before we had like the vertical fireball, which was really good at hitting slime. Once again, we have the Yeti. Die, please. Yeah, I'm gonna go over here. Break the grab. So I didn't even have to care. 4 hits later. I guess the one thing Yetis have against the wizard that's good is if they have piercing protection. Like, I couldn't hit one and hit the other because the one in front just absorbed all the damage. Their armor and such. Big Apple, 3 a.m. Come, my little bubbles. There we go. Okay, so double Cyclops fight, which I actually think is pretty easy as far as double fights go. The gray one, I believe, can only throw rocks. So he's really not a factor as long as I'm dodging correctly. Pretty simple. And now they're both on one side. I don't have to really care at all. That's unfortunate. I stepped a little bit too quickly. Come here, you. That's fine. Man down. Sorry, monster down. What are you doing? Well, that one's also an ice wyvern. He definitely shoots ice. Sorry, I shouldn't assume. They definitely shoot ice. There we go. I love the green beard for some reason. Just a neat touch. Give me all the things. So what's pretty cool is I am on no miss pace, so I'm probably gonna fight Gildas safe. I can just try and turbo this fight, lose a bunch of lives, and still maintain a 1cc, but I'd rather no miss at the start of the day. Get all our jewels. I don't think I need the healing just yet. I'll take it now. Leveled up again. I think we're even do one more extend, but I don't think I'm gonna bother with it. We'll bother caring about it. So here we have the Lord and Master himself. He's gonna talk smack to us. I'll charbroil your bones is a really good line. So this fight's actually pretty easy as long as you're willing to just do lane manipulation. You do 1 standing shot, 2 jumping shots, move down, and you can't hit. And he'll always focus on your point. Wee. Oh, that was fast. One more. Fire does do a lot of damage because, of course, it does. It's fire. I think it takes about half your life on its own. Even with the improved HP that you have now. So reliably, it looks like you can only get 2 hits. He switches sides. Nothing changes about the strat. Just do the thing. Oh, you tried. I respect it. I don't like it, but I respect it. Leave. You missed the first hit, it's not a big deal. Just same as usual. Leave. Only thing to really worry about is the fire has a lot of active frames, so you gotta be cautious of that. There we go. No. Kind of underwhelming boss fight, if you ask me. Maybe the easiest in Capcom Brawler history. But it's still okay. It's a long game. We deserve an easy boss every now and then. Okay. Don't get greedy with your hits. Wee. No. No. That was rude. It's fine. Got the extend, which we don't need. That was a little early on my part, but I should still be okay. Off we go. Probably should have just let him come up here. That's fine. Everything's fine. Yeah, we'll be playing that version after this. I just want to do this one because this one's easier and I want to get it out of the way first. Get the confidence boost. Plus, a no miss is going to be a really nice thing to have to start the day. Go away. Really? I thought we were done with this. Okay. Didn't even reach. Spew. Level up just cuz. Had to manipulate that out. What are you doing? Thank you. There we go. Perfect fight. Didn't get hit once. And a no miss to boot. I won. I won the money. Good beats. This game is so great. Although the heroes spelled incorrectly, I might add. Dun, 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 dun. I also think if you're gonna try and get into clearing this game, clear this one first if you can access the ROM for it. The official arcade release is a bit tougher, but not too much. I do anticipate no missing that one, but you never know. So, good game. 1.5 million points. The extends happened at point intervals that I unfortunately can't remember, and one of the reasons the beta version is easier is because those intervals happen earlier. It's like 10,000 earlier or something like that. Maybe 100,000. I can't remember. Anyway, world version. Actual arcade release. This is the one you'll find if you actually... Of course, I forgot to post this. If you actually find a cabinet of it. I'm sure I've seen some of these in the wild, but it's been a bit. Yeah, not touching any character but this guy. He's too good. As you can see, the voice samples are different now. Characters walk onto the screen faster. It's an overall faster experience, it's just harder. I think it's cool to be able to show off. It's like, oh hey, this does indeed have two different versions. Out of the way, please. Really? I think enemies in this game might do more damage, but I can't remember for sure. Where are you going? Okay, so we didn't get an orb for this one, so we're gonna have to fight the orc here fair and square. Thankfully, he's not too hard. Line up with his shadow, hit him a bunch, line up with him again after he jumps, throw hits, and you'll be able to out DPS him no problem. Definitely don't challenge the chains. Oh, jeez, okay. You moved, I understand. Sometimes I move out of plane and just throw one chain, and it's really hard to react to, if not impossible. Nice pose. Got some health back. Whee! Alright. To the castle! Well, a castle. Really? That hit? A lot of enemies. I think that's the other harder thing about this, is that enemies are a lot more numerous. Makes it a bit more challenging. Some points. Minotaur fights. Basically the same as before. I gotta be, like, actually in range here. What are you doing? I guess here he actually has full moveset. That was useful. Got some iframes, got some health back. Stomp, stomp, stomp. Is that all you ever do? Alright, halfway point, floor breaks. We're just doing what we do. This is actually one of my least favorite boss fights. It's just kind of boring, I think. Like, oh cool, he has really strong stuff he can do that mostly doesn't matter. Like, the wyvern at least, like, matters, you know? Way bigger of a threat. Here we kind of just have to throw hits and hope for the best. Plus our range just kind of sucks, which makes it less fun too. What are you doing? There we go. No jumping allowed. Take this thing. Do this. The mountainside. Drag this with me. You know, orbs are use it or lose it, so I tend to use them, not necessarily right away, but if there's a group of enemies, I don't think there's any reason not to use it. I'm accidentally hit it anyway. The red orcs are pretty annoying. Way better defense than their counterparts. Nice. Got us a neat little level up. The pressure. I don't even know what hit me, but okay. I know it was a strike, but it looked way out of range. But what do I know? Okay. That was early, but thankfully we're fine. Health, I hope? Unfortunate. Okay, so back to the Wyvern. This fight is something. A little bit harder than it was before, but basically the same. Hello, Smitty. Okay. Basically, as long as the Wyvern's not lined up with you, he can't really do anything. Alright, here comes the scary stuff. Also, his ground shot attack got buffed. He shoots 3 now instead of 1. And yet it's still not that scary because of how it's telegraphed. I'll give the Wyvern this. He doesn't skip leg day. That's for sure. Just trying to play safe here. I'm not trying to get hit. Those things hurt. Shoot things. Okay, so he's gonna come in for a dive right about now. Usually just use sound cues for that. And another one. No. Okay. I actually prefer fighting him in the air than on the ground, but he doesn't feel the same way. Oh, so cheap. I couldn't react to that. He just did it. Not much I can do about that. Sometimes you lose dice rolls. Sucks to lose a life that early, well before we get an extend, but I should be able to run it out, I think. Wizard's squishy. Probably should have been more mobile. That might have been a bit greedy. He should have had me there. I'm surprised he didn't. Chilling. Okay, that's how it is, huh? Alright, so up goes. Dive. No, sir. Okay. Not really happy with the death, but I should be able to play through from here. But we'll see. I'll credit feed it regardless if I can't. To the screen. Da, 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 da. Got the extend, very good. I gotta go around this thing. The thing's gonna attack me. Oh shit, I forgot to use the damage. Okay. Still no health, and I could really use it. Bring this in. And the defense on that. Unfortunate. Normally that's good for iframes, but I wasn't able to break out quick enough. Not good, but not the end of the world. Maneuverability. Healing, I think. Nope, not quite. If I have a perfect Hydro Foot, I'll be able to heal. CVG with the clipping. The Hydra dives are also a lot faster now. Because Extra Arcade version, I did not think that was going to hit me. But okay. That had nothing to do with the speed, he had the range. It was an unfortunate hit. Okay. Think when he drops. That would have been cheap. Sometimes they snap back and just do insta shots and it just wins. Like that right there. Okay. Not a great fight. That dive kick hit was rough for sure, but we got some healing out of it. Here we have a wandering soldier. The ship should be healing over here in this barrel. Bananas. Get out of here. High frames are juicy. I can't believe that missed me. We'll get rid of this now. I want to make sure and get as many points as possible, so just getting rid of the frog is generally the best way to go. Whoa, really? That was scary. Just bounced around. Alright, off we go. Give me that. I mean, I want it, but I don't know if I want to use it yet. Wow, nice timing. Didn't get any of the actual problems. Classic. What are you doing? I could use lightning, but I don't really want to spend the health. It's weird. There's a timer here that makes it to where we just can't actually lose, but let's try to just take him out. Yeah, I'd rather have the gold. Okay. More damage. Who doesn't love more damage? Really? It's very active of you. Go away. Don't love losing the gold, but definitely abuse that. Okay. Get to heal here. Minotaur refights. It's the same as before. The upside of having less space is you do get an easier time of manipulating him. He's either going to jump or he's going to charge, and he doesn't really have much in between. Doling out damage here. He's actually being pretty nice. He's not using iframes a ton. Like, yeah, he's charged a couple times, but he's not doing like back-to-back charges, and that stuff gets really annoying. But hey, good fight. To the stairs. Okay, so this is getting a little dice. Foreground objects make this more challenging than I want it to be. Keep moving. This skill's gonna drop. I did not remember the acid. That's unfortunate. Gonna keep moving. Got some healing. Did that for some iframes. Unfortunate. Guess that was a little bit greedy, but I don't think it was necessarily the correct move. I just got hit when I didn't want to. Okay. Just getting my damage out here. Take that. Wave dash. Good old wizard dash. Thunk. Okay, the skeletons are the real issue here. Their falling attack does have a pretty strong hitbox, and I don't want to have to deal with that. Nice. And I got an orb for the Cyclops too. That was very unfortunate. And of course he's guarding it, because why wouldn't he be? Pretty good. Alright, damage the Cyclops fight. Let's go. I forgot he can jump backwards. Good old mimics. Okay. Don't love being at 1. Also don't love him being at the middle of the screen. That's incredibly scary. Dash straight, very good. More than okay with that. Whoa, I forgot you can get boulders from off screen. That's wild. No. No, you don't. Okay. Good enough. Had to do a lot of things I don't normally like to do there. But they were necessary. Take these. Necklace time. Back to the woods. Alright, my health is not good. I would like for my health to be better, but that's not a luxury I have right now. I'm going to break this now. I wanted to wait, but the enemies here are just way too numerous. Just get rid of the arrows. Sorry, spears. Alright, this is gonna get a little dicey. Try and aggro my way out, I guess. Die, please. Fortunately, I can't force myself to care about the gold as much as I want it. Give me that. Alright, that actually went better than I thought it would. Go away. Okay. Okay, more lizard men. Never loved this. They're pretty annoying, especially when they gather in packs like that. Yeah, that's on me. Got too focused on the hard one and forgot about the assists. Alright, so managed. This guy's health, I'll go ahead and snag it. Points. Thankfully the spider's just as easy. Just jump and don't get grabbed. Avoid the acid. There we go. Jumping out of the corner like I did there is usually a good way to go if you can get it. Hello, Mr. Tree. Why were you picking your nose? Thanks, buddy. Open, please. Alright, so really, really good damage now. We're gonna need it. And piercing, can't forget that. Really? The only thing we don't really have yet that we could use more of is range. Our range is good, but it could definitely be better. I guess the trade-off there is the fact that we have piercing, so we can just kill groups of enemies faster than outrange enemies. It'll be a bit before we have the lightning staff. Take that out. I'll let that follow me. I'll leave the strawberry for now. Okay. I won't be able to get it again later, so I'll take it now. Meteor shower. Does reduce them all to 1 HP, so that's useful. That's a healing item. I shouldn't have spawned that yet. Now the thief is going to try and take it. Yeah, now I need to kill him. And he's left. God, yeah. That's a mistake. But I have to own up to it. Why I hate lizard men. They just block your shot and counterattack. They're really good at that. Alright, so this is gonna be a little dicey. I do have my aggro Dragon Rider strat, but I'm really, really low on health, so I don't love that. What are you doing? Still weird that fire does damage to this thing. Usually dragons that spit fire can't get hurt by fire. Just ask Charizard. Get some distance. Vertical distance, specifically. So the really scary bit is that little spear attack he does, he can chain those together. So you can like whip an attack and then just do another one, so you always have to be mindful of that. Still, fairly good fight. Got an extend out of it. Got some health back, but we're getting ready to head into the hardest portion of the game, so we got our work cut out for us. Dun, take that. Just because I want to do damage to this thing. It's good enough. It doesn't kill it, which is great. So I get points. You kill anything that turns into a frog, you don't get any XP points for it. Because you beat a frog. Why would you get XP for taking out a frog? Take that. Move along. Wow. That was way faster than I wanted it to be. Okay. Die, please. Alright, so I got this guy to deal with again. I think I'm gonna have to go aggro here. That was supposed to be a lightning strike. Cool. Don't love that. It's gonna be a little bit dicey. Okay. As most things are in this game by this point. That better have hit him. Can't jump over a yoga flame. Come on now. Die, please. Thank you. Okay, thankfully got them all on one side. That was really strong for me. Not ungrateful. Ooh, okay. Honey, that missed me, but I'm here for it. Shifting planes. Okay. Alright, so as we know by now, the Black Knight's really difficult. He's just got a lot of stuff he can do. I'm gonna try and stay in corners. Hopefully not be greedy. So, usually after he blocks, you can get a hit on him. Okay, I'll sacrifice a life for that. Don't really care about the dragons on the side. You can just stay against the wall and avoid those, and you don't have to worry about him. Never recommend being in the center on this fight. That's fine. I expected that. very extended teleport. That was not good. I thought that would freeze, not do damage. That's gross. Oh my goodness, I'm getting destroyed. He blocked most of that too. That's not good. He crossed that up too. He's on the other side of me. This is not a good fight. I'm due for another extend at some point, but yeah, that was rough. The real test is going to be stage 12. If I can get there without dying, I have a chance, but yeah, I didn't play that well at all. Big unfortunato. I have to save the princess to the underpass. I'll take this. Blue flame time. Take you. Back ye Yetis. I forgot they do have better health here than they do in the beta. These guys specifically. It just takes longer to take them down. Okay. Wow, okay. I think we managed to jump out of the way of that. Yeah. Okay. Probably picked up the healing a little bit early, but it'll probably work out. But it's on my last life and I'm just trying here. Alright, thankfully the Wraith is not too difficult of a fight. We know what to do by now. Where you at? Really? That was fast. The thing that makes it harder here is I think they're able to get 2 sights out in a cycle as opposed to just 1. But your damage output should still be able to race it just fine. Mix-ups everywhere. Yeah, they got 2 out. Just like it did in the last cycle. I got 3 out that time. Oh god, okay. Yeah, that's bad. Didn't think I was close enough. Okay, just hug the screen. Or hug the wall. Okay. Whew. A little dicier than I would have liked. So we'll get some score. I don't know if the XP is going to be enough. Alright, tough stage ahead. Not too bad of a boss, but definitely a tough stage. Okay, so once again I'm gonna hug the top pixel. Mostly because I just don't want to deal with arrows if I can help it. These guys make top pixel a little bit tougher though. Or a little bit less justifiable anyway. You can keep them off the... You can keep them off your axis, you're good, but easier said than done. Okay. Forgot there were more. So I wasn't sure how greedy that was gonna be. What are you doing? Okay. Still no health. Still no health. Alright, they're gonna make this tricky. So I gotta give them the space that they don't want. And that was way outside. Increased range does help, but will it be enough? Get tripped. Okay. Time for Goldar. Only thing to really watch out for is the whip sword. I gotta do some hit and run. Yep. Called it. Okay. And the tricky part is if he starts up the whip sword attack the same time you start up your scepter, it'll trade, and his does a lot more damage, so it's really scary. No, get me away from this pixel. I'm not trying to be in the same pixel, same as someone with armor. Screw that. I disagree, but it doesn't matter what I think. That's on me. I just got greedy. I'll still have this, but next stage is probably just a death. Never mind. Oh well, we tried. I did my best. I'm a little rusty on this version, so I'm not surprised about the loss of continue, so we'll see if we can go for a 2cc. Not my best play, but this one's a lot harder. The death on the Wyvern is something I would have probably reset on in most circumstances. So that's just what I need to relearn. Here we have not Princess Zelda telling us what to do. Oh yeah, I forgot you can change characters here. Probably because I continued. I can make this a 2. Yeah, not the thing to do, I guess. I forgot that anti-air capability, so they only went to the ground. I guess that's a different one. Alas. That was lucky. He left just in time to leap that. Unfortunate for me. Don't love this. Being boxed in bad. Take that out. They block so well. Okay, so generally I start the fight off by doing just a hit. Dodge, hit again. I definitely lightning there, but game says I didn't. This fight's hard. This is the hardest boss fight in the game, so there's a chance I may just lose a whole credit here. Only takes 8, so putting me at 2 is the same as being at 10, effectively. Yeah, that's understandable. Whew, the protection. I don't know how that didn't hit me, but okay. I should have been moving there. Teleports are hard. Yep. I do feel like you need a little bit of good luck to get far in this fight. Like sometimes the game just gives you just a ridiculous amount of pressure that's really hard to deal with. I guess 3cc then. Also, I mean, technically I didn't play well. I didn't, I was reacting poorly to their, like, teleports and stuff. You're supposed to magic those, and I was dropping inputs and sometimes just forgetting. So not my best. Okay. Don't really care about any of that. Sure. That should still be here, I think. Yeah, there we go. CBC, thank you so much for the raid. Finished up a King of Dragons run here. Already not at 1 credit clear, but that's okay. Where we at? Nothing different about this fight. Hit him before he can do the... Oh, I forgot he actually has that, but okay. Still not hard, but I was slower than he was by a little bit. Okay. Takey OD. It's a Dark Wizard. I don't expect to give us trouble, but this has already been a pretty rough run, so I think what I expect is probably just to get hit. I'm playing this fight better. Hit, leave. Yeah, okay. I probably should have lightning there, but whatever. It's weird. He brings the orbs out at half health here, but only at 1 health on the beta. Okay. Not such a good fight. Mostly just because the orbs. Orbs tend to be a problem. More so here. That's what the orbs are for. The rest of the game is going to be, thankfully, easier than that. That was greedy. I can't tell you how much I want to disagree with that, but it doesn't matter what I think. Like, I guess it was greedy to try to anti-air him, but I don't know. Hadn't had that happen before. Oh well. Not a good credit. Thankfully I have lightning staff now, and that's going to solve a lot of problems. Get out of here, you. Stay delayed. Okay. Still no healing. Yeah, the Wyvern fight's pretty much the same. You do have goons to worry about because it's the second fight. We're hoping to just lightning him to death. That was timely. Unfortunate. Okay. Now you're just being annoying. Okay, that was cheap. Put him on the spot where I'm trying to stay safe. Noticing things are moving a little bit faster too. Thankfully, ice doesn't matter unless you get hit. Matters very much if you get hit. Expect the mix-up again. Didn't happen. Okay. Spent a lot of money to make money with that beard. The beard is its own business. Speaking of which, pretty sure that guy did the same. Let's even go finish this game. That. Did not expect that. This is like the one enemy that's where lightning orb is or lightning staff is actually worse. Go figure, huh? That's why I put him in the last stage. That better hit. Don't think these guys have an anti-air, so you can just generally bounce around them pretty well. That was very aggressive. Didn't appreciate that at all. God, lightning just blows through shields. It's so good. Big Apple, 3 AM. The biotic slime. Okay. That's inconvenient. Yep, that's why it's inconvenient. They gave themselves really good positioning for that. Didn't play that very well. He was clouded, though. Shoot this. Thankfully, he's pretty easy. He only throws rocks. He can't even punch me. So this stuff is really easy to dodge. Okay. Alright, so the last stage. From here, the only goal is to maintain the credit. I'm going to at least try to deathless on Gildas here. 3cc is best I got at this point. I don't even think I'm doing another extend. Nope. More stuff. Piles of gold. Yeah, Gildas talks a bunch. Yeah, you get actual boss music here, which is great. Strat's the same, though. Nothing changes about that. The level up might have cost me. Not too much. It is a good song. But, you know, oh yeah, I forgot about the wave. Yeah, that thing's annoying. I think you have to magic to beat that. Like, I think you actually have to spend health to beat that. Now he gets an extend. Nice timer. Not anymore. That was unfortunate. Didn't align the way I wanted him to. Close. Alright, do your little flame wave. See if I can beat that. Yeah, there we go. Unfortunate. Oh, he is not playing nice. Hug your body, you jerk. We're scaling up. No stop to that. The aggression. Oh yeah, you're hitting the body at that point. Got to wait him out. Okay, there we go. Down it comes. That felt early. Not the run I wanted, but It's a finish. Bzz. Still a good game, just a much harder to beat version of the game. But it's the one everyone knows, so you gotta try. Ending plays out exactly the same. Anyway, appreciate the GGs, everybody. Thank you, Lyra. I am definitely considering brushing up on this for the Coin Op Classic, but I'm not sure where I want to go with it, and that's the tricky part. But alas, that's for another time. That said, that's gonna do it for me for today. We're gonna go ahead and pop our initials in. Hope y'all enjoyed yourselves. Oh, and you actually get credits here, so that part's fun. Dun. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Thanks for the shout out there. I should be able to do that myself, but I forgot how. Let's pop our initials in. Dun, dun, dun. Merely the ending credits for this game is great. Big fan. All right, let's pick the next song that was on the thing. And I'm gonna do one more double check right now. Actually, well, no, we've got one. Okay, I was gonna say I didn't think we had any RGLT members on, but Toad's playing some Nippa, so we'll go show the Toadster some love. Appreciate y'all hanging out. I'll be back in a couple weeks with a new game. Will I have a tutorial ready next time? Who knows? We'll see. All right, y'all enjoy Toad. And enjoy your Sunday. I will catch you all on the next one, and take care. Have a good night.